Nice.
Perfect. Okay, let's get started. If you can, please stand up. And some of these stretches you can do standing, some you can do seated. Kind of all depends on the week for us. But we're going to start off with some big deep breaths. So just reach up over. This is something we don't do all day as we're sitting at our desk. So just reach and bend a little bit. We're going to take another big deep breath up to the top. And one more. So I thought, because we might have some people who haven't been joining us since we started this in January, that we would I called it around the world. So we're going to start with the neck and kind of work our way down. So, one of the things that we worry about is the fact that we look down so much, we round our shoulders, we're typing all the time. So we're going to start with the neck. And one of the things we don't do is look up at the sky. So sorry, I need to hold on to my headset. But we're going to start by looking up at the ceiling. And we just want to hold it there for a couple seconds. And then we're going to look over into the right corner. And hold that for a few seconds. And then we're going to look down under our armpit. And we want to keep our shoulders relaxed while we're doing this, because that's one of the things that we see most in ergonomics is people have a tendency to put their arms up on their armrests or reach up to their desk. So we're going to go back to the corner and back up to the top. And now we're going to go over to the left. So I encourage people to find a couple of these stretches and do them throughout the day. Everybody has a pretty good idea down to the armpit. What bothers them the most when they're working on a project or they've had a long day at the computer. So pick a stretch or two. These stretches are nice because you can do them in your car, you can do them on mass transit. So we're going to go up one more time and over to the center. Perfect. I'm going to shake that out a little bit. So next, I'd like you to take your hands behind your back. And what we're going to do is pull the shoulder back and lift the arms up as high as you can. Now, keep in mind, we want all of these stretches to be very gentle. Nothing should ever hurt when you're doing these. We are trying to push a little bit past what might be your normal range of motion, but you don't ever want to do anything that hurts. And if you hold the stretch 15, 20, 30 seconds even, if it feels really good, you surely can hold it longer. But just know that even taking 2 or 3 minutes during your day to do a couple stretches can really help you finish out your day strong and not so fatigued. I'm going to shake that out a little bit. And you also might find the second or third time you do a stretch, you might have a little bit more range of motion. And that's really the idea. So it's good to do everything 2 or 3 times. I try not to hold things as much as I would for myself during the day in this class, just so we can get to more parts of the body. And I'm going to shake it out, and we're going to do that one more time. This is nice because it gets us stretch. We're reversing what our shoulders do all day, and we're also getting a nice stretch across your chest, because we do spend a lot of our day rounded, especially looking at our cell phones. All right, shake it out a little bit. The other part that's really important that we take care of during the day because of how much we type and mouse is our wrists. So we're going to do a wrist flexor. So we're going to put our palm straight up and then reach with your other hand. And you don't want to just pull on your fingers. You want to pull a little bit further back, closer to your palm. And we want to pull those fingertips down. Now you won't be able to see if I lower my hand, but if you put your arm, pointed down more toward the floor, sometimes you can get a better stretch up through because we're getting the wrist and the forearm all the way up into the bicep. So if that gives you a little more stretch, please do it. I'm going to hold up here so that everybody can see. And again, this is one of those motions that we just don't ever find ourselves doing during the day. You don't ever bend the other direction or elongate the wrist. And that's where your carpal tunnel lives. That's what we're really trying to protect. So I'm going to switch now and go over to the left hand. So palm up, and I'm just going to pull down on my fingers. So in our ERGOFIT sessions every week, we really try to focus on the things that are the most affected by office work. So, we're never going to be working up a sweat here. We're going to concentrate mostly on neck, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers. A little bit mid back and lower back, nothing below the waist in these classes. Shake that out. Do that one more time. So I'll post the slides that we went through at the very beginning here after the class ends. But we do have a back care webinar coming up in June. There's a UR code if you'd like to register for that. We'd love to have you join us. It'll be a half an hour. And everything is taped. So if you can't make it, just know that you can always dial up the library that has all the tapes. Perfect. And now we're going to do the exact opposite. So we're going to have our palm facing down, and we're going to gently pull on the back. Now this is, again, something we don't do. So be very, very careful. You don't want to pull too hard on the hand. Yeah, there's a wonderful YouTube library, and I try to mark the ERGOFITs if we focused on maybe just the hands or just the shoulders or just the neck, so that if you want to just focus on something that you're having an issue with, you can just dial up that recording. Cool, we're going to shake that out and go over to the left. So palm down and just a very, very gentle pressure. And even though we don't use our non-dominant hand as much, you always want to make sure you give it a little bit of love too. Perfect. So I'm going to shake those out a little bit. And this is another one of my favorite stretches. This is the finger stretch. So let me put my hand in front of you. You can see it. So you just want to completely spread your fingers, wiggle them a little bit, and then make a tight fist. So you're going to open it up, wiggle them a little bit, and then a tight fist. So we're really trying to counteract that kind of gripping that we have on the mouse all day. So give your fingers a chance to wiggle and breathe a little bit. And we're going to come over and do it on this hand. And then every week we have what I call a PEG, which is a practical ergonomic guidance. And I've started a series, it's going to last about 5 more weeks, about why move. So this week, why we move. And as we're finishing up, I just want to have you reach up to the sky again, and we're just going to twist a little bit. So for this week, it's the improvement of joint lubrication. Your joints contain fluid that's a lubricant to reduce friction and allow smooth motion. And movement stimulates the production of that and also the distribution of that fluid. So when the joints aren't moved regularly, the fluid can become less effective, and it can lead to cartilage wear and tear, and it it puts you at a greater risk of developing things like osteoarthritis. So why do we move? We move because it makes everything better, but one of the big things is it helps lubricate our joints. Perfect. Thanks, everybody. We're right at time. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and hopefully I'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye, Barbara. Bye, everybody.